When you're using your bodometer, you can choose from different shooting modes. In this video, we'll talk about classic mode, what it is and when to use it. When you're shooting in classic mode, the psi number that will show up for your shots is what we call true psi. It's strictly based on the raw sensor data from your shot. If you do the exact same thing, you'll get the same number. Since classic mode is strictly showing your true psi for a shot, it's a highly effective tool for you to use when you're working on changes to your shot. Here are 5 uses for classic mode. New bodometer archers. We recommend new bodometer users start in classic mode to get used to their true psi numbers before switching into level mode. Evaluating equipment changes. If you're wondering what the effects on your consistency will be if you change your stabilizer setup, your poundage, or anything else with your bow, use classic mode to shoot a session before the change and another session after the change. Compare your psi spreads between the sessions to see which setup gave you more consistent psi results. It's not the only factor in your decision, but it's an objective data point to help you decide. It can also be helpful when making purchasing decisions for your setup. Analyzing form changes. You can use the same approach when working on form changes. You can use the notes section in our app to mark when you started working on a form change. After a while, you can look at your classic mode psi spreads for sessions with the new change and help you decide if it's helpful or hurtful. Sharing your bodometer. If you lend bodometer to your friend to try out, make sure they use classic mode and that they run a new bow setup so your bodometer is tuned into their shooting profile. Remember that bodometer is personalized to the archer. Your psi numbers aren't comparable to your friends, even if you're shooting the same bow, and you don't want them to affect your psi level, so make sure they're shooting in classic mode. The same is true if you run a range or a club and you want to have one around for sharing. Steady shooters. You can shoot every practice session in classic mode if you want to. Some archers prefer it and never use level mode, and that's perfectly okay. Remember, classic mode doesn't change based on your shot history or based on any other factor. It's only looking at your bow setup, shot profile, and your current shot. Shots you take in classic mode do not count towards your psi level progression. That's why classic mode on your bodometer is a perfect analytic tool to help you track your practice and maintain your gear.